Tonight I'm talking to Zander Buckett, a 20-year-old strongman athlete and a student at Robert Gordon University in Aberdeen, Scotland. Zander, I'm so happy to talk to you tonight.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
I would like to ask you a favor before we start.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends in Romania watching this podcast.
Okay.
So I would like to ask you to speak a little bit slower if it's possible.
Try slow. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just take your time,
No problem.
speak slower.
Yeah.
I would like as many people as possible to be able to understand you.
I have to do that at university anyway.
Okay.
In my class, I always have to go slow because Aberdeen is quite hard to understand. Some guys are like, "What did you just say?" So I have to kind of go a wee bit slow.
Exactly, because what's happening is the Peterhead accent or the Peterhead accent, it's only understood on the 30-mile radius.
Yeah.
If you get out of here and if you go Aberdeen or other areas, it's very difficult for people to understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that. Listen, so I've mentioned at the beginning that you are a strongman athlete.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, and you are 20.
20 years old.
Now, I watched a little bit of the strongman competitions throughout my life, not much.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I didn't notice a lot of young men or 20-year-olds. Most of the guys are older.
All older.
Exactly. And more experienced. Is that the right word to say?
Yeah, I think when you watch it on the TV, everyone comes from a different sporting background. So you've got a lot of rugby players, or you've got the current world's strongest man, Mitch Hooper, he was a marathon runner before he started training.
Okay.
Everyone's kind of came from a lifting background or done some kind of...
So it's like CrossFit a little bit.
Yeah, well, a CrossFitter is in it now, so it kind of just depends. Everyone's got a sporting background to then come into strongman.
The reason I say like CrossFit is because the guys who are practicing CrossFit usually have another sports background.
Yeah, exactly.
Gymnastics,
exactly.
Athletes of
Olympians
all kinds. Exactly. So for the life of me, I was trying to think, how old were you when you got to practice strongman?
18 and a half.
18?
Yeah.
What made you, tell me a little bit of your journey. How did you get to practice this?
I used to go to the gym all the time when I turned 16 with one of my friends, just on and off, back and forth. Didn't really have an interest for it at the time. And then I got asked again, just at the later on the lockdown, he asked me if I want to go to the gym. I thought, may as well step in, see what it's about. First session at Infinity in Bodham, absolutely loved it. I realised that I was strong. I was a big guy anyway. I'm quite a big guy, so I thought this is fun. And then from there I was hooked. So started training for about 6 months, and then I moved gym to the one I'm at now. Got a coach, and she introduced me to strongman, and I tried my very first event, and from there I was hooked.
So how did somebody show you the competitions? Did they talk to you about it, or did
I guess it was the Stokeman brothers really who started it for me. Tom and Luke Stokeman. So he's the 2-time world's strongest man.
Okay.
From up in Invergordon.
Okay.
I'd never heard of him at the time, and then when someone mentioned it to me, I thought, I wonder who that is.
Did you notice that I struggle to understand you?
Yeah,
so it's just
go slow.
Slow, please.
So I looked up him on Instagram, seen who it was, and I thought, how can someone from up in the Highlands in Scotland win the world's strongest man? So from there I was hooked. I thought, if he can do it, I want to give it a shot. And then from there I just started training. So
what is your goal? You want to win the competition?
Yeah, so my goal right now is to qualify for Ultimate Scotland's Strongest Man under 23s. So the qualifier it'll probably be May-April time, and then the finals will be probably September. That was when it was last year.
Okay, because I looked on your Facebook page and I saw you won some competitions. I'm not sure. I saw you on a 3rd place on some picture, maybe 2nd place. No.
Yeah, I came 3rd place at my second comp in Stirling. And then after that, I went to the next level. So it goes beginners, novice, intermediates. Then you go to your opens, your national level. So I went from first timers to novice. Realised that I was out of my depth because the guys I was up against were really big. They were really, really good. So it was kind of a good wake up call for me to know where I wanted to be, and the guys I was competing against were how they competed. So I'm now at novice level now. I did a comp in July and came mid-table. So my plan is to just keep every comp, keep improving, keep getting better until I eventually win one that I can go up to intermediates.
Okay. You know what? I'm curious. How does one day of training goes for you? How do you train for this stuff? I mean, I go to gym, but I bet you. I mean, I was looking on the camera and I'm looking at these pictures, and I mean, me compared to you, two different things altogether.
Totally different sizes.
Exactly, two different sizes. Yeah. So how do you train?
So split it into 4 days. So a first day will be a pull day. So it's normally deadlifts. But right now I'm training for trap
So
work.
the first day, it's a pull day.
Pull day, yeah.
So whatever you do, you pull.
Everything's pulling. It's all back related.
Okay.
Back and posterior chain. So anything your hamstrings, lower back, kind of anything that.
Lower back, hamstrings. That's really they're getting hammered.
Every event that's being worked. So you need to have a strong lower back and hamstrings.
Yes.
Because if not, that's the first things that a lot of athletes pull, and that's the very first thing that injure. So, my very first competition, the guy that won it, 2 months later, he injured his hamstring.
Mm-hmm.
He tore something in his leg, and he's not competed since. Mm-hmm. So it just shows that if you don't look after yourself, it's very easy to injure yourself.
But okay, you don't look after yourself, but I mean, nobody wants to get injured.
No.
So if you do, so it is an accident.
Yeah.
So it is like unfortunate.
Unfortunate, yeah.
So what can you do to prevent
Probably just
injuries.
Whenever you're training, warm up properly. I think warm-ups is the most important. So before I do any kind of movement, I always on the treadmill or on the bike, just a 5 minutes just to get the blood moving. Then some dynamic stretching and some band work just to get everything moving, because you don't want one thing to go and scupper your plans. So you'd rather just warm up properly. So a good half an hour of warm-ups, and then say it's deadlifts, for example, I'll do the bar, and I'll then do 10 reps at 60 kilos, 100, 8 reps, and then I'll just keep slowly upping the weight and taking down the reps. So if I'm doing like 250 for 5, I'll never do higher than 5 reps. So I'll stick to 5 reps to do all the whole warm up.
250 kilos?
Yeah.
Deadlift?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I think the most I've done, just without joking, Romanian deadlifts, I've done maybe 80 or 90 kilos.
Yeah.
250.
250.
Oh my goodness, man. That would injure my back, I would say. So the first day, it's
everything's pull.
Everything is pull day.
It's all pull in motion.
The second?
Press. So so normally a lot of guys will do like a push-pull legs, but for me, because it's strongman, I do an overhead instead of bench day. So I always like a standing military press or like a log or an axle, just because it's like the kind of events that I do. So right now I've got log, strict press.
So what I do, shoulder press, you do a log or an axle.
Yeah. Yeah.
How big is the log, man?
Well, when you clean it, you're sitting here. You've got to look back because the thing's as long. So when you start.
Oh, you mean you push the log in its length?
Like yeah. So you clean it, then you press that. So yeah.
How long is the log?
Well, it's normally it depends. You got a 15-inch diameter. So I'll show you a photo if you'd like.
Okay. Yeah.
If I can find one from Instagram page.
You have to send them to me because I'll post them.
Yeah, no problem. I'll send you.
Yeah.
So that's the.
Okay, so that will be the log.
Yeah.
How heavy is that?
I think that's only 70 kilos. That was back when I first started training.
Only 70 kilos?
Yeah.
I shoulder press with maybe 25, 30 max.
Doing like I did 125 kilos last Saturday, so I fairly came my distances then.
Okay. After you tell it, I do have to ask you, what do you eat?
Whatever mum makes me.
Okay.
Normally just I plan to eat. I eat quite a lot. I think the nutrition is the one thing that I should really be focusing on, because you're quite a big belly, which works for it helps for strongman.
Yes.
I could be fitter than what I am.
Okay.
But on like a training day, I try to eat some kind of carb related before I train. Like a Rice Krispie bar, it's got slow releasing carbs. So when I go into a session, half an hour in, if I start depleting my energy levels, that starts to rise it back up. So try to have a hearty breakfast, or at least eggs and a bagel or something,
What is a hearty breakfast unless it is eggs and bagel?
That's kind of what I have. That's
Okay, no porridge. I thought you would have had porridge.
I don't really I don't really eat breakfast. That's my problem. Because I always sleep in. That's my
Okay. Is that the young person's problem?
Yeah,
They
exactly.
eat breakfast at 12 o'clock at noonday.
11 o'clock.
Well, yeah, it's like brunch rather than
exactly.
breakfast.
No.
So what's the third day of
Third day would
training?
be a rest day. Then like the next day on a Thursday would be legs. Then just not your normal safety bar squats in RDLs.
What is an RDL?
Romanian deadlifts.
Oh, that's what you call them.
Yeah. RDLs.
Okay, RDLs. Okay, Romanian deadlifts. Okay. So do you do leg press? Yeah.
Not really. No, it's not something that's on my plan, but I do it for fun.
Okay. I do it just to keep strong, man. You do it for fun. You know what I mean?
I just throw it in at the end, just to have some fun with it.
Okay, so how much for a Romanian deadlift? How much do you do? How much do you lift?
It's only like 125, 130 kilos for 10. I then drop them back to like 100 kilos to do 3 sets of 10.
Okay.
So everything I do is always one top set of a bigger weight. Then I'd always drop it 20% and then do reps on that. You see people doing like 3x3 or like 3x5s on one lifting the same weight, but I don't feel you're progressing the same, because by the first set and the third set's going to look completely different, because you're going to be tired.
So you start heavy.
And drop the weight 20%.
Yes.
That 20% difference is you're going to drop the heaviness, be able to do the reps. Then the next week, the top set I do would be my working weight. So you're just constantly, it's progressive overload is what it's called.
Yeah.
So my coach called it standard periodization. So linear periodization. So what that means is that you're never going all the way up to then come back down. You're always just on a slight curve. So it takes longer to see results, but you're then going to be way past where you were. So you're not going to go peak all the way to then fall all the way back down and start again. You're always just going to be continually strong.
So is this a good training for building muscle or just becoming strong? Because I guess I've heard people when they want to build muscle, so they start heavy. So usually when you want to build muscle, you go to what's the word I'm looking for? You push until you can push no more.
Yeah.
To failure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how you build muscle. But then you start heavy, and then as you go down in weight, you do more reps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's kind of so on the plan. If it's like a compound lift, is like your main lifts, like your deadlift,
yes,
overhead, I would do my one top set, then the back off. But normally my accessories would be just till failure, because that's what then builds a muscle.
Yes.
So you're breaking down the muscle to then rebuild it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you get best of both worlds by doing it that way.
Okay. Yeah. So you reps to failure.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess like any bodybuilder or anybody who does sports like this, you would have some protein intake.
Yeah.
How much do you take?
Probably about like 150 grams, maybe 175
a day.
Yeah.
So is that a gram per kilo or?
Yeah. So it's normally
or per pound.
That would be. I'm kind of doing like.
I would take a gram per kilo.
I'm like 1.5, 2 times 2 grams per kilo, so I'm like 120 odd kilo body weight.
Okay, so you should take about 240. So, but you're not. You're just taking it underneath.
Try to, but at the same time, I try to lose some weight, so I don't be eating too much. So like I'm kind of like I'm a tough.
You would be needing to eat lots of chicken breast, but you'll get fed up of it because
chicken
it's low calories. Chicken breast, broccoli, carrots, and a little bit of rice or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, not much sauce, nothing. Very low on. But very low on sauces and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, just plain.
Yeah. No, my plan is what I've spoken to my coach is, as long as I'm feeling good and I don't go in a session feeling tired or lousy. So as long as I'm eating good, if I hit protein at every meal, like a protein shake or something just to boost the protein levels, and I'm feeling good. If I get my decent sleep, then I'm feeling good. It doesn't really matter. I don't think
sleep is important, man.
Yeah, rest is a big thing.
Yes, of course.
It's something I neglected for a long time, and you wonder why you're not feeling well or you're feeling drowsy, but you don't get your sleep in. That's your body's time to recover.
Of course.
If you have a heavy session, then bad sleep, the next day you're going to feel bad.
So how did you neglect your sleep? What did you do instead?
Just stay up. Just either if I'd work early mornings, I'd I start playing FIFA on the PS5, and I'd realise it's 12 o'clock. Better get to bed.
I hear you. So you're trying to burn the candle at both ends.
Both ends doesn't work.
No, it doesn't
I
work.
learned that very fast.
No, doing what you do, you gotta sleep properly.
When you're trying to commit to a sport,
Exactly.
I'm now at a point where I want to do this properly and go to the next level. Whereas last year was kind of just doing it for fun and just enjoying it. But now I'm like, I've got bigger comps in mind now. I don't want to just stick it.
So you want progress and you want to win things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plans to win this year. I plans to win every comp I go to and qualify for the next level comps. That's a plan.
Yeah.
Last year was just a warm up in my eyes. So here to go for it now.
Okay. So you have goals, which is good. What does sports teach you? What did you learn?
I think the whole thing is just discipline throughout it. You need to stay disciplined because a lot of guys, feel like, be motivated to go to the gym once a week. So your motivation peaks and it drops, but you need to be consistently disciplined and just keep at it. And then that's the only way to approach things in life is just to keep disciplined at it. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing that's taken away from it.
Mm-hmm. Would you say you are a disciplined young guy?
Trying to. It's something I'm definitely working on because I've improved over the last
year. Are you working on it?
Working on it. It's a work in
Good.
progress.
That's good. What other thing did you learn from sports? So discipline?
Yeah. Probably, I think it's definitely helped with confidence for me. Believe it or not, I was a really shy guy growing up.
Okay. Well, I've known you for some time. I mean, not a long time, but I would say 5 or 6, 7 years.
In Buckett Academy, I was really shy. Kind of always kept my head down because everyone my age was always small and skinny. So I thought if I'm being the bigger guy, kind of played a big thing with me. So I was very shy, didn't really shout a lot. So by coming into a sport where everyone is big, it kind of made me feel a bit better. Kind of felt more confident. So able to kind of just embrace who I am really.
Yeah.
Instead of try to be someone else. Stop comparing yourself to others. That's the biggest thing I took from it. You can spend so long looking at someone else's shadow when you don't realise what you've got in yourself. That's the biggest thing I took from it.
Being yourself is a major thing to understand that.
Especially young people. I think that's the biggest thing is just everyone compares himself when there's no point.
Everybody tries to copy somebody.
The only person you need to prove is yourself. That's my biggest thing.
That's a good thing, man. Yeah. Zander, I'm so happy. That's being yourself is not an easy thing, man.
No, it's not.
No,
it's definitely not.
Especially when you're young. As we grow older, we kind of become, well, hopefully more mature, and we get to embrace who we are,
Yeah.
But many years we fight ourselves.
Yeah.
We fight who we are.
Yeah.
To embrace a persona that it's already liked by the world, which is in the likelihood of, I don't know, Tom Cruise or The Rock or whatever names, for girls, rock stars and singers and actresses and whatever, Kim Kardashian or something, But to be yourself, it's a major accomplishment, and to embrace that. I'd
say it's one thing Mum said. Since I was academy, was don't be a sheep, just be yourself. That's the base of it all. That's what she said, and it's something that I put past. I didn't think about much, but when I realised there's no point comparing yourself, just be yourself, because it's the only person that's important at the end of the day. Let's be real. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. So is it a big sport, strongman? Because I watched it on TV. Now, what I've noticed, a lot of the Scandinavian countries are involved into the strongman competitions.
Yeah.
So it's not such a big sport in Europe. I'm not sure in Americas, but the Scandinavians, the Norwegians, Finnish people, the guys are really into it.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's definitely growing now.
Okay.
Since when I first started doing it to now, the past 2 years, there's a lot more comps coming now. So there's a lot more under 23 competitions being introduced, which is ideal for me. Before there wasn't really anything. But the way World's Strongest Man was, it was made as a TV show.
Okay.
So it was an American television show in 1980, 1979, 1981.
So it wasn't meant as a sport, as a discipline. It was just a TV show.
It was TV show.
Like a live,
so you think like a circus strongman.
Okay.
That's what strongman was originally. Okay. It was feats of strength that no one else could do. That's what strongman was.
I didn't know that,
It was people doing extraordinary things that no one else could do. Really.
Wow.
That's what it started off. And then 1980s, roughly, that's when the TV show was made. So that's when you had like Bill Cosmer, who's one of my heroes of the sport. That's when he was competing. And then 1984 was when World's Strongest Man split into American and British TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
So it was obviously because everyone had the rights, so no one competed because it's quite a difficult time because it's trying to be televised and people just want to compete. So America, it's very big. You know, you have a lot more competitions and there's a lot more competitions over there. But Scotland's definitely picking up. I mean, Scotland's a home of strength, really.
Yes.
Stone lifting, it's a pinnacle of strength.
Yes.
There's no one stronger than this.
Well, I saw the Scottish Games, you know, the summer Scottish
Highland
Games.
Yeah.
Yes, the Highland Games.
Yeah.
They look a lot like the strongman competition.
Yeah, it's very. It does. If you look, you can take anything like that and say it's strongman because it's something extraordinary that no one else does. That's what I look at strongman as. You see powerlifting and Olympic weightlifting, it's the same lift, you know what's coming, but I could go to a competition and you need to press a log, an axle, a dumbbell, a keg, a stone, a sandbag, anything overhead.
What's a keg? Is that like a beer bottle?
Beer keg. Yeah, beer keg. Beer keg. Just depends. So it's like it's dynamic in what you can be doing with it.
Unbelievable, man.
It's
unbelievable.
It's a fair difference. So
it's a new world for me. I've never. As I said, I watched a little bit. Throughout my life, but I wasn't into it. I'm not into it, but it's fascinating.
Yeah,
it's fascinating.
It's funny people speak to they say, "Oh, watch a strongman at Christmas time." I was like, "Yeah, that's why I do all year round." Everyone just December is when it's on TV.
Okay,
Christmas time. But it's quite cool that I do.
Are the competitions on TV at Christmas time?
World's Strongest Man. That's when it's recorded in August, so the competition's live August.
Okay,
but
they broadcast them at Christmas.
UK only has the rights to show it at Christmas time.
Okay.
So they wait till then to play it. And you normally get like your Britain's Strongest Man and everyone. It's like the 26th October until the 31st is when it all plays. Mm-hmm. So there's everything, one every night on there in the schedule. So it's pretty good to watch.
That's good, man. That's really good. I'm not sure to ask you or not to ask you this, but I want to pick your brains and see what you think about it. I mean, you're 20. You're a tall, strong young man, and I'm sure you heard about people talking about toxic masculinity.
Yeah,
you know, and I guess what they, in some quarters, I would say, they refer to anything that has to do with male aggressivity, you know, being aggressive. I don't know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, so we men, we are aggressive, we are strong.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how do you see this? It's something wrong with us that we are aggressive, or is something wrong in the way we channel aggression?
It's a good question. I think like sport related or just like day to day, just any
day to day. Because I'm going to gym, yeah. So I'm aggressive in terms of I like to push, to challenge myself, to grow, to pull or to push more weight.
Yeah.
You know, involves discipline.
Yeah.
Involves being hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Challenging yourself. I need the challenge.
Yeah, it's like a strive to be better.
Yeah. So it's good for me because it keeps my mind healthy.
Yeah.
You know, releases endorphins, dopamine. You know, all the feel good neurons and stuff like that. You know. So, but it seems to me that whenever a man in society, you know, or a boy, or you know, a male figure raises his voice, he's somewhat aggressive in his behavior.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about destructive.
Yeah.
You know, pushes for things.
Yeah.
You know, he's toxic masculinity.
I don't think it's toxic at all. I think what toxic masculinity came from was back in the 80s.
Okay.
It was a phrase used for men who were
before you were born.
Yeah, briefly.
Okay.
It was used for describing people for like harassment and when there's big problems in the workforce and like it's totally different. But I think.
Oh, you mean sexual harassment? So that aggressivity was channeled in the wrong way.
Yeah, But I think
so. Drunkenness, sexual harassment, domestic abuse,
Yeah.
physical abuse, emotional abuse, and
But
stuff
you look
like
at
that.
people look at it as toxic masculinity, but I think it's just masculinity. I think anything you say now or anything that's opposed to the general view can be seen as toxic masculinity. You like any figure you look at nowadays, there's always something to get cancelled for, and it's toxic masculinity. But they're just striving to be. It's just, it's men at the end of the day. I don't see anything. I don't agree with the term. I don't. I think the term's wrong in the way it's used.
We can't all be toxic.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because like, in order to succeed in life, you have to push.
Yeah.
You have to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Now, by that, I don't mean killing other people or stepping on other people to achieve your goals.
Yeah.
You know, but you got to be tough.
It's a point where you've got to fight for yourself, though.
You have to fight for yourself.
You can't let anything else push you by.
Exactly.
I think it's the biggest thing. But like it's a fine line between chivalry, being a gentleman, to then toxic masculinity. I think that's where there's a big grey area where people don't know how to react, and they just label it as toxic masculinity. Which
to me, if you ask me, I mean, I'm thinking about it a lot. I think the term is just abused.
Yeah.
You know, and it's taken for a ride. You know, like everything that's masculine and resembles masculinity is toxic.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
And for some reason, we want a domesticated man at home that doesn't raise his voice, somebody who says yes, ma'am, and crawls and does everything he's asked to do, you know, doesn't make ripples, doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You don't know he's there. You know? I'm not sure that's...
I don't agree with that at all.
I don't agree with that either, no. But it seems to me that's
the way
wanted.
Yeah.
That's desired.
100%.
Or some parts of society desire that.
Yeah. Just like this, like, not even weak. It's just like everyone wants to be laid back and no one wants to strive for anything. I think it's the biggest thing. Like as you're saying, everyone's just trying to be.
I think. Oh, that's my water. I'm getting excited. I think it's an assault of man. I think it's an assault on man, if you ask me. Somehow, I cannot put my finger on it. Why? But I'm sure other people smarter than me can explain that, and I know a little bit why. But this actually leads me to the next topic I want to talk to you. Because last year when I met you,
for breakfast.
You were here for breakfast, right? You were in my house for breakfast. My wife invited you, and we had a great morning.
Yeah.
And we're talking about things, masculinity again, and everything. And you were into Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
So at the time last year, you were
the scandals and stuff was going on about. That's kind of when he was most famous with the.
Well, he was the most Google man on earth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I have to be honest with you. I followed him for a year.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm interested in the guy because he's a very interesting figure.
Yeah.
You know, but I want to ask you because it seems to me that a lot of young men are following him.
Yeah.
So what was the catch for you? What drew you to himself? What was appealing to you?
I think what initially drew me was just there was just a loud person on the internet.
Okay.
Just saying, but you break down what he was saying. It's striving to be better each and every single day. It's to be respectful to everyone around you. It's to treat people how you want to be treated. Basically at the bottom of it, it's the goal. It's a strive to be better than you were yesterday. That's what I took down from it. I'm on a email list, so I get emails every day from, I don't know if it's Tate himself or it's Andrew Tate email.
Okay.
So it's always got like a.
Is that from the real world or their Hustle University or something?
Yeah. So I get ones every day, and it's always just him speaking, and it's motivation. That's what I looked at it. So you can just have a scroll through.
Okay, so you get from Andrew Tate an email. It's like a motivational email every day.
Yeah.
So did you subscribe to him?
Yeah.
Are you paying a fee monthly or something?
No. I just subscribed to a mailing list, and it comes through now. So
can I read what it says in one of them?
Yeah. Go.
So let's see. Raised differently. So this is an email you received on the 14th of January, which was yesterday. Yeah. So from the second I was born, I was raised to be happy via personal achievement and exceptionalism, competition in all things, Chess, my job, combat, breathing. Every area of my life was built on the foundation of competition and professionalism and earning my place in the world. You were probably raised to be happy via entertainment and distraction from reality. Okay. Cartoons and TV. You learned to chase the wrong type of happiness. However, it isn't too late for you to change. Yes, you've wasted years underperforming, but you can't take moves back. You can only play the best move from here. If you decide to be different, you can turn the hard and boring into the fun and exciting. Enjoy the pain, the suffering, enjoy climbing the tallest mountains and breathing the freshest air. It all begins in your mind. From your mind, you can generate change in your universe.
It's pretty powerful stuff.
Your government cannot change you. Your parents cannot change you. I cannot change you. Only you can change yourself. So I leave you with this choice. Are you going to keep living how you are now, knowing you can't do much more, but instead you settle for what everyone else does, distracting yourself instead of facing yourself? Or are you going to decide you truly want to do something of importance in this life, something miraculous, beautiful, and rare, instead of closing this email and returning to your regular day? Let this realization open your eyes and get serious. I can only show you what's possible. You have to go out and earn it, Tate. Man, that's a very good email.
It's powerful.
Very powerful. I had actually to read slow to actually think about reading.
You got to really take it in, but that's what drew me in. It's a quite abrupt motivation. It's kind of that no one's coming for you. You need to do it yourself.
Now, based on that, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, that's amazing. So, what else attracted you to him? So he was loud on the internet. He wasn't afraid.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess the flashy lifestyle as well. All the cars.
Okay. Okay. I think the cars and the babes.
Of course.
Yeah.
No, but I think when you so on one of his podcasts, he says that all the cars and everything you see online, he uses that as personal indicators of external indicators of success.
Okay.
So nothing really came from that if he didn't work hard. He didn't strive to do well. So he kind of uses that as inspiration for others. So everyone could see that as, you could take that as toxic masculinity. There's someone flashing off this brand new Bugatti online. You could see that as he's trying to show off. But to me, it's motivation that if he can do it, why can't no one else do well? Why can't no one else do well? And that's kind of what I took from it.
Okay. Interesting. I followed him for the last year. Well, I've heard about him when he was arrested in Romania. Just before Christmas 2022.
Yeah.
So I've never heard about him before.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I was the same, to be fair.
Okay. Yeah.
I knew of him as a fighter. I quite like watching.
I mean, he's a 4-time championship, UFC or kickboxing. Kickboxing.
Yeah. But that's the thing. He kind of came out of nowhere. He kind of took the world by surprise. And then when he got arrested, you look at any person nowadays, any leader, any celebrity, they've all got what they're known for, and then something that happens, there's a negative to them. So obviously Tate was the same way, getting arrested. But one thing I found quite interesting, which kind of, it's quite, when you look into it, we had a conversation at university about this, about Tate.
Okay.
And instantly it was 50-50. The guys in the class were for him, liked him, liked what he stood for, and the ladies in the class, they were like, no, misogynist, don't like him. So the lecturer then said, well, you open your TikTok and search Tate. So when we searched it, it was all the motivational quotes. It was him. There was one of his brother reading Matthew in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all those videos, and then the ladies' TikTok.
Tristan Tate.
Yeah, Tristan.
Yeah.
And then the ladies picked up, and it was all the reports of the misogyny and him, like the clips taken out of context of him with the nunchucks. And she was like, the lecturer was like, that straight away. That's why opinions are split. It's because the way the media's took him, it's showing the men what they want to see in the ladies.
Yeah.
So I think that was the biggest problem, is that everyone was so quick to judge without, like, even myself, I thought he was great, but then you need to take another side. You need to kind of look at it as a whole. instead of just seeing what the TikTok was showing you, what the media was showing.
I have mixed feelings about him.
Yeah.
Probably like many people. I like him.
Yeah, I'm the same. But
and I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And let me explain. I mean, I look at what he has achieved as a sports person. You know, I mean, four times champion, world champion at kickboxing. Man, that's kickboxing is not an easy sport.
To come from nothing as well. To come from no background to then jump into the sport and train is just phenomenal.
Broken family.
Yeah. That passed away early.
He wasn't quite present in their life, you know. They moved to England. He grew up, I think, as a teenager in Luton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but then, okay, you want to make quick money. So he was involved in this video chat and whatever, you know. Actually, in Romania is legal, by the way.
Okay.
So he did it in Romania, and in Romania is legal. I don't know in Britain. So he didn't break the law in Romania, but it's kind of you're a digital pimp.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. So that doesn't. I mean, it's not like you're an astronaut, you know. So it's not like you're a digital pimp. It's like, but so he wanted to make quick money. He made, I don't know, because nobody does how much money he made, because he claims that he is multi-millionaire in Bitcoin and whatever, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because after he came from prison, he came out. Well, it's weird because even I have mixed feelings regarding why he was in prison.
Yeah.
Because, well, maybe just did he deserve to be in prison? It was he framed? Somebody, you know, it's so many games, dirty games. So I'm not, but he was out and he didn't have. I saw a podcast with Patrick Bet-David.
Yeah.
Maybe you watched him go into Romania, interview him. I think he had about 2 podcasts, about 4 or 5 hours. I mean, long ones. So actually, one I watched the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
But not in one day.
I did last all.
No, 1 hour a night.
Yeah.
Because I was quite interested.
Yeah.
So and then actually about a month or two ago, Piers Morgan interviewed him.
Yeah, the BBC one. Yeah.
The BBC was a farce, if you ask me. The girl from BBC.
Yeah.
No, I didn't like that one. I watched it, and that was such a setup.
Yeah.
I mean, now again, I'm not pro Tate. I'm not against Tate. I'm not pro BBC. I'm not against BBC.
Yeah.
But if you look at the interview, was the girl was after him.
He was trying to set him up to admit himself.
But she wanted him.
Yeah.
She wanted to kill him.
Yeah, basically.
In the interview.
Yeah.
And, well, he wasn't a very easy prey, was it?
No.
But it seems to me in the interview with Piers Morgan, it seems to me that the interview got quite heated and quite real.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to me that he's not quite the guy he portrays to be.
Yeah.
Just let me say, no. And remember, I like him.
Yeah.
I like him.
No, I
he's a likable guy. He's a likable guy. I'm not sure he has the money he says he has.
No.
Yeah. Because kind of somebody pays his bills now.
It's very easy to rent cars instead of buying.
Exactly. And now he's famous.
Yeah.
Yes, he is famous. I don't know how much he gets for an interview with Piers Morgan or with Patrick Bet-David, maybe 20, 30, 40, 50,000
maybe
pounds, dollars or whatever. But at his lifestyle, it doesn't take long to spend them all.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So to me, another thing that kind of came and transpired in the interview with Piers Morgan was, and which I didn't like, it appears that he might have children with many girls.
Yeah, that's kind of what it came across as.
It came across, so and he's not really involved.
Yeah.
You know? And that to me, it's not a very good example for the guys.
No, exactly.
You know? Yeah. Because I am a guy for one woman, have your own children, bring your own children up.
Yeah.
I know life is hard and we all make mistakes. But as an ideal, the ideal is, you know, just have your own woman.
Yeah.
Take her home, put a ring on her finger, marry her, have babies and grow all together.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the idea, and I didn't like that. So I thought,
Yeah, you've got to take everything you see with a pinch of salt. And as motivating as you can be, is what you can be seen as a role model or inspiration.
Yes.
You don't have to look at the other side, like we said. You can't
Mhm.
stand for him. You can't be all pro, but you can't be all against him, because there is good in what he says.
Mhm.
So you
Well,
need to weigh
There
it.
is some value. Yes, I totally agree with you. There is some value in what he says.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot throw the baby with the bathwater.
Yeah.
So like that email,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I would receive that every day.
Yeah.
So I have no problem
Yeah,
with that.
exactly.
Some of the stuff some of the interviews, podcasts are amazing, are enjoyable. I quite like, and he's got some things to say and are valuable.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's mixed with so many things. I'm not sure if he is not trying to portray online personality that he's not really himself.
Yeah, maybe.
That I thought about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure. It's like kind of two Andrew Tates.
Yeah.
Is the online personality that you're always trying to engage into a fight, into a debate, into I don't know. And then there is the other guy who is reasonable, who is likable, who I don't know. So I'm not sure. I have very mixed feelings about him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same. It's you can look at him as what you want, but there's always going to be another side. There's always going to be another against or for. And it's just it's one of these things that you're never going to get right, really.
So, but he's still influencing people.
Yeah,
he's still influencing you.
Yeah,
and you know what? Whether you like it or not, he has. How can I say? Influenced me. Definitely made me stop and listen.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's not a small thing, man.
No, exactly.
To have that power to make people stop and listen to you.
I think that's you can look at the whole situation. It's, if anything, it's been a great marketing tool for him, because it's made people on both sides look at him and hear what he has to say. So if it's worked for one person to see him, then it's paid off.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's and they are reading quite a bit. Tristan is quite an interesting character. He's quite posh.
Yeah.
Quite a gentleman.
Yeah. Suits in.
Type. So so interesting. Yeah, interesting guys to watch. I haven't watched anything with them for some time now. I'm just busy with other things, but interesting characters, and definitely they've made people stop.
Yeah.
And watch them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And listen to what they have to say, and that's something, man.
Definitely.
And they are eloquent. They speak well. They read. They are not stupid.
No.
And that's something, Yeah. Another thing that I didn't like in a podcast with Patrick Bet-David in the summer, he was talking about his philosophy regarding sexual access. Like, for example, for a guy to have sexual access to women, you got to be, I don't know, fit, good looking, have money, power, influence, and all that. And the idea was, you can have girls, but to me, and they referred, and they likened that to masculine traits, masculinity, and that's not masculinity to me, or being.
I think that's where the toxic masculinity comes in. I think that's the example of it.
Okay.
I think that's why I see it asking is.
See, like a real man, like you, me, a real man has, I don't know, is fit, is good looking, works hard, makes money, is powerful, influential, and can have all the girls. But he doesn't have them all.
Yeah.
He chooses one out of them all, marries her, puts a finger on her, puts a ring on her finger, takes her home, have babies, and remains the man of one woman, and grow all together, and that's to me the idea of a strong man.
Yeah.
It's easier to fool a lot of women to fall in love with you. It's harder to make the same woman fall in love with you every day, man. That takes skill, man.
That's good. Yeah.
Well, think about it.
That's.
I mean, the same pickup line. You go to 20 girls with the same line. You cannot use the same line to your woman every day.
Every day, yeah. You got to keep changing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Become innovative, be creative, come up with something new, read some books, man, watch some new movies, I mean, you have to make that girl fall in love with you over and over again in the space of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years of marriage. Man, that's hard work. It's easier to change the girl than to keep the same girl. So you want to be a man, stay with the same girls forever, man.
100%.
Yeah. Well, that actually leads me to the next topic, man. Church.
Yeah.
Why church? Because I met you in church.
Yeah.
So I met you a few, 6, 7 years ago when you were a teenager?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember, just about that.
Well, yeah, it was academy when I first started joining church. It was youth.
Okay.
So it was my friend Harvey. Because when I originally moved house, when we moved up to Claymore, where we are now, Harvey was on the street, and I knew of him from Clark Hill. Didn't think much of it, and then Mum was like, he beats well, because I asked around, so started becoming friends, just mucking about around Claymore, just playing with bikes and stuff. And then every Friday night he'd disappear from 8 till 10. And I was wondering where he went. I just presumed he was at friends or something. Sunday was the same. And then there was one Friday, he's like, I'm going to youth tonight. Do you fancy coming along? To me, oblivious, thinking what it was. I was like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, not a problem. And then I go, and you walk in, you downstairs. It's when we're at the Apex Hall, and the lights are bouncing, the music's playing. I'm walking around thinking, why is everyone being so nice? That's the first thing I was like, why is everyone being so nice? And then went to it. At this point, still not realise it was church. I just thought it was I think
like a club or
Exactly,
something.
yeah,
okay.
It was like
nobody drunk. Nobody beaten.
Yeah.
No knives about.
You just went to. I thought it was just where people went, so came away thinking, oh, it was good. Yeah, it was fun.
Okay.
So got us back the next Friday. Then realised it was church, and then I kind of obviously we're not being like church in mind. When I found out, I was like, oh, so that's what church is. Because to me, you just think old fashioned church. You just think. Well, I used to go to Methodist when I was younger.
Okay.
With my grandma and granda. So instantly you're just thinking pews and organs. So to see this as church, and it was an eye opener to what church actually is.
Okay.
And so from there, I just kept going through youth. I went there for a while, and then it was I would like to say I went maybe February, and then Rock Nations was in the summer. And it was the week before Rock Nations was when I got saved. Before I went to Rock Nations, it was Matthew Morgan who was speaking. I still remember it now. And he's speaking. He just said, "If not now, when?" And at that point, I just thought, well, that's speaking. That's true to me.
Okay, Rock Nations. Okay, I remember that.
It was the verse. Is it verse that I wrote down that was used that night? And it was John 13:7 that Matthew Morgan spoke on, and it was, "You may not know now, but later you will understand." So to me, I was like, well, I don't know now, but later on I'll understand. So instantly, I just thought I was fine. And then he said it was just a reminder to be patient, to be diligent, to be steadfast, and then to keep God at the center of all things. So I thought, at that point, it just spoke to me. I was like, right, that's me. Put a hand up, got prayed with, got saved, and then went to Rock Nations that next weekend. So it was it was crazy. It was to happen all so fast, and then just fell in love with it. I instantly just thought, why didn't I do this sooner? That was the one thing I felt. I just thought it just felt comfortable, felt at home almost. It just felt.
So, were you the only one in the family, or is somebody else in the family attending church, or how did it go about? Because I saw your mom as well coming to church.
So to start, originally it was we went to Methodist. My grandma and granda, and Mum used to take me and my sister along.
Okay.
Just kind of routine, just happened, and then when my grandma passed away, we kind of stopped going. Grandma stopped going. They kind of just fell off it as you do. Younger, you didn't find interest in it. And then I was the first one to go. I started going along, and then asked Mum to come along, and then sister started coming along, and then they got saved. I think it was the same year really. They just started coming along, and Josie was at it wasn't Mega Kids. She was at I think it was youth actually. It was maybe something in the church, and then she got saved there as well. So it's quite incredible to see that power orientation that I received I then passed on, and
Unbelievable.
then they came to church. So
basically, after you, your mom and your sister
yeah,
came.
I just followed after. Yeah.
I checked you out online. So I don't know your dad.
Yeah.
So I asked on Sunday, asked your mom.
Yeah.
So is the guy in the picture with you guys? Is that your?
Yeah, that's your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's your dad, yeah.
That's your dad. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing, man. One day I want to know him.
Still stubborn.
Stubborn, huh?
Yeah.
Men are stubborn.
Yeah. He's came a few times when Barry Woodward came. Was when he came. He went to the front and got prayed for. But it just I'm not sure. He just still not came all the time like we have. But I think he still has.
I want to ask you a question, man. Just finish your thought. You think he still has what?
I think he has. I think he has the idea of church in him, but it just doesn't come, if that makes sense. He he knows there is something, but just not being saved. I think it's just one of these things that with time kind of might start coming along. It's difficult when someone's stuck in their ways. It's very hard for them to just be like, right, okay. Especially so like if he's older now. Do you know what I mean?
You see, well, I'm glad I actually let you finish your thought, because actually it has to do with my question. I'm troubled. Why? We don't seem, well, men are fewer men. Men are fewer. How am I going to put this in English? Fewer men are coming to church. Okay. So I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like women are more eager to come to church, or it's easier for them to come to church, to get involved into the community, the church community. Yeah. And for men, it's not so easy. And I don't know why. And I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think it's something to do with men, with us, that we are not drawn to church like women are, or church is not doing something they should be doing?
I think it's maybe a bit of both, but I think it's maybe just men being they don't want other people to know. It's maybe like a not an embarrassment, but like a fear of being what other people think. I mean, especially when in a academy when I got saved, I struggled for a while to tell people. It's kind of one of these things that if you're the only person, you kind of feel like isolated. So I don't know if it's just that feeling of not wanting to do what other people aren't. If their friends aren't, it's kind of. I suppose it only gets tougher as time goes on. So am I thinking? I think it's maybe just tough to. I don't know, just a fear maybe.
Fear? Do you think we are afraid that it's seen as weakness? Maybe.
See, before I would have said yes, but after when I got saved and now when I've started lifting, the amount of people I speak to that I didn't realize were saved at the time, and I see these people like Bill Cosmere. He obviously was competing. He's now retired. He goes around and shares his message, and I didn't realize that he was saved at the time. So when he spoke in Bodham, he was an evangelist. So he then said he spoke about Isaiah 43:10, I think it was, and he started speaking away, and he looked right at me when he said the verse, and a point of me thought, could be a Christian here. Like I just thought there was just something there that I didn't realize at the time, and it's the verse about flying with eagles. So to kids, it's to inspire them to soar with eagles and not let them stop them. So to me, I was like, this is 3 times world's strongest man. It's a strong person, but he's also saved and loves the Lord. So it's like I don't think it's being weak. Like now that maybe now that I'm saved, I kind of look at it differently. I don't know if it's if you're not in church, it's kind of maybe a different view. Maybe
I struggle with that. Yeah, so I'm not sure why. Because if you look in church, but not just in Britain, everywhere, I guess, in Europe or in church in general, it's about 60-40, 60% women, 40% men.
Yeah,
and it's been like that for a long time.
Yeah,
and it's. I'm always go back to it, and it makes me think. Why there is not more men drawn to church.
Yeah.
And that's something I think a lot. Do you like going to church? Yeah,
love it.
Okay.
Like I said at the very start, I was very shy when I was younger. Kind of struggled to going in about friendships and stuff. So when I joined youth, everyone I speak to now on a daily basis, all my friends came from church. It's like we have a good friend Harvey, Bobby, Drew, Colin, they're all from churches where everything stemmed from everyone I know, everyone I work with, deal today, day-to-day basis, everything came from church. So it'd be crazy to see my life without church now. I think it's played such a big part in changing who I've palled about with, what I was doing weekends, and who I'm interacting with now. It's played a big part in shaping who I am now.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Even from when I first joined church, before I was saved, I started working with Matthew Morgan, cutting grass. Okay. And to me, Matthew Morgan has probably been one of the biggest influences or person I've looked up to since I've joined church. Just it was we'd work every day, and he'd be like, "I'll see you on Sunday." And I'm thinking, yeah, sure, no problem. I'll see you Sunday. Every day we finish, I'll see you Sunday. And it was almost just like it wasn't even him saying it, was God saying, "I'll see you Sunday." And to me, like what we speak about in the van, speaking about Bible, speaking about youth, it was crazy to see that you shaped him up to be the person I am now. When I just thought it was casual small talk at the time, and it's played a massive part in who I am today. So I'm very grateful for the people that church has put in my life. So it's been great.
Yeah, so I see God plays a major role in your life.
Yeah.
You like going to church. Following Jesus is a good thing, it seems to me, for you. Yeah,
100%.
I guess you are pretty willing to tell others about him. Yeah.
So a funny story about that. One of my friends in university, we've got a big class, but there's one guy I always used to be friends with, just always kind of clicked with. And then there's one day he messaged me on Snapchat. He says, "You haven't given much thought about church." I was like, yeah, I'm saved to go to church every Sunday. He's like, "Oh, I'm saved too." Like, it's just something we never spoke about. And I said to him, I was like, "Why have you not told more people? Why have you not said this in uni? And the amount of people that we speak to on a daily basis, why have you not said more?" So I instantly got speaking. And when you start speaking about university, then people turn around, "Oh, what are you speaking about?" And it's so easy to bring God into the relationship, in the conversation, sorry.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I think it's something that you should be doing way more often. And it's something I should be working on more, is telling people. And it's what we're saying, it's to bring more people the gospel. And it's really just that.
So why do you think we don't do it more often? What's the holdback?
I don't know. It's just like
fear,
probably just the
fear of rejection, maybe.
Yeah, but then Charles Kelman on Sunday, he says if you ask them, they say no. But then it's in their mind. So to me, I was like, well, why would you not say it? Because you can only get a positive from it. They say no. Next time you ask them, they say yes. It's slowly building that.
Keep at it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like you're going to ask them, they're going to be saved like that. And everyone's got a different journey. So everyone's different in how they respond. So some people just may take longer, especially young guys, I think, or people my age. I think if you're not in a church environment, I think it'd be hard to see it and be like, yeah, that's what I want to do. But once you're in it and once you experience it, it's something you can't describe how great it feels to be part of a church family. It's
community is important, man. 100%. Community is important. We need community. One reason why community is important is that it tells you when you're stupid.
Yeah.
Regulates your behavior.
Yeah.
So we need that in our life.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we are not the best things in sliced bread. We are not the brightest. We are not the bestest. We make mistakes. So community will tell you when you're stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
So we all need that. Listen, I want to come close to the end of our discussion, and I want to ask you, what are your plans for the future? Well, you are 20. Yeah. You're young. You're at university. The fourth year.
Yeah.
How many years you do?
4. It's my last year.
Okay, so you're going to finish in June this year, I guess. Yeah, sometime. So what's next?
Plan. That's actually what I'm kind of discussing right now. I'm going to weigh up the options. Plan is to do accounting when I'm
accounting.
Yeah, that's my job. So that's my. But right now, I'm like, I don't really fancy that. I actually really fancy the police. Fancy applying for that.
Okay.
Because I've met people. I spoke to people at work today about it, and I said, well, I'm young. I may as well do something. Because when I get a degree, degrees don't have a time on it. It doesn't have a time limit. So once it's there, I've always got accountancy to fall back on. That was kind of my choice when I chose uni. Was I've got accounting. I'm trained in a trade, and that's me. I've got that. But at the time, like now, it's just while I'm young and able, I really fancy doing something else. So the police just recently just something I've kind of interested me. So I suppose that would go hand in hand with strongman competitions. That would.
Well, listen. You are shocking me, man. I mean, when I look at you, I don't see an accountant.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see a policeman.
Everyone in my class looks completely different to me. It's actually, I feel like the only one that's left out. I'm the only person that's large. Everyone's small and everyone's hunched together.
Shame.
In the
Shame.
university, in the lecture halls, the seats are very small. So what I do, my friends, we go up the back and it's a swirly chair. So we,
Yeah.
we get the big chairs.
Oh man.
It's very different.
So I I see a policeman. Yeah, it's yeah. Wow, accountant. Yeah, I struggle with that.
So the reason I joined university at the start was when I was in fifth year academy, halfway through, COVID happened.
Okay.
Well, actually, in an accounting class, I think that's why I chose accounting. 'Cause that was my very last class in academy. It was 2 o'clock. I remember it as brightest day, and the teacher said he put up the news in the projector, and it was coronavirus lockdown imminent. He's like, so he shut the computer off. He's like, well, there's no point teaching this now. So shut down. Then we went home, and my thinking there, I spoke to my dad. I was like, I don't know how long the lockdown could last. We could be here 2 years. It could be 5, 10. So at the time, we didn't have our grades because we didn't sit 50 exams. So I applied university through clearing, which is like at the end of the applications if I've got any space.
Mm-hmm.
So I applied through there. I got in with no interview. Can I just see my CV and my application and said, yeah, it's you. So I enrolled. To me, which I thought was perfect because at least I'm doing something. It was all online. So first year was all online. Then started to go in person. Because I think if I didn't apply at uni then, I don't think I would have. I think I would have just worked at AMI like I am now. I would have never had a goal or nothing to work on. I'd just be stuck working. I don't think I'd have I wouldn't start uni later on because if it's 4 years like it was or whatever it was, I wouldn't do uni when I was older. So I'm glad that I've done it now, and I'm coming out the back end. COVID finished. I was third year, so it's quite good that that's me kind of in the back end.
That's brilliant.
Graduate. So
that's brilliant.
The way it works is that you could look at anything, but to me, it's just been God's timing. It's been immaculate how it's worked out, and it took so much planning. So you definitely know it's not me. It's
what's happening. Things that are not done in their time are left undone.
Yeah,
you see. And you've done right. You finished your school. You don't know. I mean, there are people who go to university when they're older, but not many.
Yeah, it's like that that verse, John 13. If you don't know now, later you will. Like that. You can use that for anything in life. Can
exactly.
You don't know why you're doing it now. If you've got a feeling to do it, just do it. Then you'll later. It's one thing it's a verse that I've definitely stuck by. That everything's unforeseen. You don't know what's happening, but you stick by it, and you won't go wrong. Really, that's my take on it, especially.
That's brilliant, Zander. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem. I enjoyed it.
I appreciate that. I enjoyed it too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Guys, if you enjoy our podcast, our discussions, please don't forget to like this podcast, to share it, and why not subscribe to my channel. And until next time, I wish you a great time wherever you are. Bye-bye from us now.